Hey guys, Michael here with Daryl, and today we have a very important and exciting topic, and that's the alternative lending. It's a big topic, and lots of people don't really realize how it could benefit when they're looking for a mortgage.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people historically have thought about alternate lending as for people that have bruised or bad credit. And that's not necessarily the reason. Yes, we can use alternate lending in those situations, but we find actually the majority of lending that we do on the alternate side is people who are business for self. Okay, so I sit down a lot of times with people and we look at it and they're always saying, well, my accountant's very creative with my tax returns. I hear that all the time, which is great. That's what you pay them to be. So what I do is I sit down and I show the mortgage rates on the A side, and then I show the income tax schedule, so the CRA income tax schedule. So the higher you go up, the more income tax you pay, right? So I always say that you either have to pay CRA or you have to pay the bank. You got to pay one or the other. You don't get to avoid paying both. So a lot of times I'll show people and say, well, if you declare $120,000 a year, here's your tax bracket. Here's your overall total tax you're paying. If you show $70,000 a year in income, here's your overall tax, but you would have to pay alternate rates. And I show them the difference in cost on the alternate rates. It is very rare where people choose to pay more on the tax to get the A rates than pay alternate rates and pay less. It's almost always less expensive overall to pay the alternate rates. And you're looking at about a 1 to 1.5% increase in rates over top of the A rates with alternate rates, but you could be looking at 10 to 20+% difference in income tax. So it really makes a lot of sense to look at both options. And there's no one size fits all, so you need to sit down and kind of look at the numbers for each person's situation.
So when you're turned down by the bank or a lender, right, what we are trying to get across, there are other options, and they might be better fit, especially if you're self-employed or maybe if you just got a new job and things like that. So what else would be other fit for the alternative lending?
So we do a lot of alternate lending. It's kind of a bridge product as well. So for new to Canada, so we've got a lot of new immigrants coming into the country. You've got people with bruised credit, had some challenges for whatever reason during COVID, all that kind of stuff. So we use this product as a bridge product. So you put them in it for 1 or 2 years while they either establish credit or they correct the credit problems they've had. And we go through a process and show them how best to improve their credit, so that in a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, we can then convert them from the alternate side back to the A side. So it can be really used well as a bridge product.
Yes, and also I remember that you were talking about that there is also a difference in how your credit or how they're looking at you, because regular bank will take the last 2 years, right, and they kind of average things out with the year that you had and how much money you made for the first and second year, and they average it out, and that's what you can get, right? Versus this has kind of looking at you in the last 6 months. So for people that are in like real estate, it could give them a lot more options, because maybe the last year wasn't as good, they were just starting, and now this year they've got lots of sales and they have more commissions, so they could get approved for more money, right?
Geez, you could do this for me. Exactly. I mean, what we look at is we look at bank statements versus tax returns a lot of time on the alternate lending. So rather than a typical 2-year average of tax declared income or what you have on your T1 general, we actually look at your bank statements and look at all the total up all the deposits into your business account and use that. So as you say, any kind of commission people, people that are new into business, like so many new people into business, the first year or two aren't great, and then all of a sudden they really start to grow exponentially. Or we also see some people that had tough years during COVID, and then now they're back and they're working hard, and the money's coming in. So it allows us with the alternate, again, to do that bridge from where they're at now and get them into something today, and hopefully in a year or two's time, we can get them back on the A side.
So if you were turned down by the bank or a lender, and you have any questions, you want to find out what your options are, what's the best way to get a hold of you and reach you?
250-470-8843. Give me a call.